die on Bleecker Street. I'm bored with being God. See me sneering in my car. I'm driving to my star. I'm listening to the music with no fear. You can hear it too if you're sincere. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am.
Hello everyone. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. How are you today? Uh, so we're gonna do Donde Esta Lucy. There is something I wanted to look at before we get started. We did start a new chapter today, Line in the Sand. Line in the Sandy, if you will. Um, but there is something else that I did want to look at. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna pull it up. We're gonna look at it first. I haven't really like dug deep into what it is. It's a Paisy thing. And it was made by an artist who goes by Hamlet of Troy. So let's take a look. This is gonna be my first reaction. They've done a lot of really good art. I think they're big on Abby and Sue, unfortunately, so rip, but that's okay. Let me make sure I get all my ducks in a row. I wanna make sure that I can see the comments. There we go. Is the stream like going? Are we good? Are we chilling? I don't know. I think we're chilling. Anyway, let me find some background sound. Fruitiger arrow? Sure. Think this should be good, right? Oh, it's very quiet. Alright. That should be good. Let me lower the volume in my headset so it doesn't super distract me or anything. And let's get right started. I also need to actually just pull this up, so let's move this to here. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Bring it up. Alright. So, how Polowake's Daisy could have still been okay. I like that they cross out good and just says okay. I think at this point, yeah, the best that Paisy is going to be able to achieve is just being okay. And sometimes being just okay is good, but not when it's your endgame ship. Paulo, boy who seeks refuge in romantic/sexual relationships, asterisks. These are not the only aspects of the characters, but I'll be leaning onto these interpretations as to what can drive interesting interactions between them. Daisy, girl who believes opportunities are fleeting and emotions are sure. I'd like to see the evidence for a girl who believes opportunities are fleeting, but emotions are sure, I can get behind. It's very poetic. Very poetic, this. How can this relationship have spectacle or tension and keep in character? Don't do they elope or they break up? Well, this is the one I want. I want this one. Also, Daisy's way too thin. But I think the art is great. I'm not trying to shit on the art. Even if I'm like, Daisy's too thin, now we have to bully this person until they try to kill themselves. Let's see, it's obvious, it's predictable, it's forced, it's shit. Why is this bad? Anon Sandin complains. You may have noticed that those are the only two outcomes, so the first step is to distance these two potential monumental screw-ups a bit far. Separated by actual plot and tribulation, not, oh yeah, they're dating 5 years later. I'm not creative enough to come up with more diagrams, so I'm just going to say you can add a lot of dramatic irony if we can get into the mind of Daisy. This isn't going to work out. Yeah, Paulo, let's date. We could focus on Paulo, but I do not care to reinstate the Paulo show, so just art like Tay would even use Daisy's POV. Act like Tay would even use Daisy's POV. Okay. If we are able to see inside Daisy's head, showing how she's been lying, then there is a chance of it being deceit. That would be cool. Okay, so what they're saying here is that she in her brain, she like to herself is thinking that things with Paulo wouldn't work out, but she wants to date him. That's something. That's actually a really interesting idea, because it's true. Let's see, but why would Daisy lie? That's retard. I'm glad you asked. Daisy is not stupid and cares about her future, going to college, going to Europe, helping others, money. Based on her talk... Oh, it's a oh no, that's Mike. I thought that was Amaya for like a second. Based on her talk with Mike, she thinks people can't just switch their feelings for another on a dime. This could apply to future goals / dreams too. Okay, yeah, she's talking about double down. It would be nice to actually, and this is the reason why I always cite what chapter and page that a panel that I'm showing is in for my videos, because like it's always important to have examples of what you're talking about. I know what they're talking about. It makes it easier on the audience, where you can be like, okay, this is exactly where I'm getting this idea from, and here's exactly the page, the chapter, and the page you can go to see it for yourself. 21, she also takes romantic opportunity if it presents itself. Yes, she is Paulo in that aspect, where they kind of just go for whatever. She has self-worth, image problems. I think it's more image, from Augustus to talking to Lucy. She already blew it with Abby, too much of a people pleaser. I think this one as well. She, as Agent Tremendous said, and it's not even something that Teshi brings up in the comic specifically, it's just something you have to pick up on. Daisy is very focused on de-escalating confrontation. And so people take that as her taking sides, especially Abby is like, oh, if you're not like completely taking my side on this, even though there are moments where she should have taken Abby's side, she probably also knew that it would escalate Paulo's teasing if she did that. If we keep those in mind, we might could see how Daisy might be a big fat liar, because Daisy's a people pleaser. She didn't do this and run along with it. What? The asterisk. Man, I blew it. Even Mr. Romeo over there can't unblow his stuff. Malusi. Well, I guess I could pine over him. I won't be getting any other dates at high school. At least it's nice to pretend, oh well, I have the future. Hey Daisy, you look sad as hell. Nah, Lucy, not an ounce of looks like you can't even choose a person to fall in love with, right? Let me live my fantasy. Mind your own business. Wow, I really like the art. I really like this person's art style. It is absolutely great. I like the little Daisy. This is good stuff. So, yeah, basically the argument here is that Daisy could just be getting with Paulo out of convenience. Or she's getting with him knowing that it probably will not work out. Even though that is clearly not what is like happening with her in the comic, because she's like going crazy. Like, hold up, if we take this idea And I'm not saying it still wouldn't be possible. If we take this idea, and we'll talk about line in the sand towards the end of the stream. But we'll just go to review session, which I do actually have another video planned I want to make about review session. It's not going to be a super long video, but like when you take this seems less of like, oh, it's not going to work out. Unless she's like really good at hiding it. But this would be intrigue. This isn't going to work out, but then it does, or maybe it doesn't, and she's just like, this was a fling, because it doesn't make sense. That the problem is that there wasn't enough of Paisley or like clear motivations in the comic before Teshi decided that she was going to go full tilt on Paisley before it happened, right? And that's why it's like, it feels like it comes out of nowhere. Like, it doesn't feel like out of nowhere because, you know, shipping culture. But at the same time, it feels like it comes out of nowhere. Like, all of a sudden, Daisy's like super omega interested in Paulo, like romantically. And then also Paulo is also super omega interested in Daisy romantically. But the issue is that Paulo wanted to be with Lucy. Like, the thing that Teshi could maybe at some point in the future write herself out of is the fact that Daisy was never Paulo's first choice. And I'm not saying that you can't learn to love the one you're with, or like, oh, just because it didn't work out with the previous, like, how should I put it? Just because I have had previous relationships with other women does not mean that the girl that I'm with now would not be my first choice, right? It's not like, oh, I'm just with this girl now simply because the other ones didn't work out. Like, but it's not like one-to-one. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. It's like those things already didn't work out well before I met this girl. So it's not like I had a choice, right? I had a choice between the two. Paulo clearly did have a choice, and he chose to keep pursuing Lucy. Maybe you could say, oh, well, he literally just never felt worthy of Daisy, so he wasn't even going to try, even though that would be his first choice. But we're never shown that. And the whole comic, we're shown how desperately badly Paulo wants to be with Lucy, even from the output, or the outset. But we never show, outside of at the Silver Shore arc, how badly he'd want to be with Daisy, and then at the end of it, he immediately changes his mind and accuses David of basically just gaslighting him into believing that he likes. Because that's essentially what it kind of comes off as, right? But also, the other thing is that the feelings that Paulo has towards Daisy, even in that chapter, aren't necessarily overtly romantic. I know we're way off topic, and I said I was done with Paisley, but like, we're still gonna keep talking about it. So let's bring it back up. I know we haven't even gotten to Donde Esta Lucy yet, but we will. So let's bring up. Fuck! I should have gone the Princess and the Queen. I like how Sue is the first choice, by the way. She's kind of cute. See, like, he genuinely thinks that she's cute. Like, come on! Oh, wait, you guys can't even see it. Sorry. He genuinely thinks that she's cute. Like, fucking Christ. Like, this is literal, actual proof that he thinks Sue is cute. Like, I don't know. And this is, you know. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Paisley. I'm sorry. Let's see. Well, what about Daisy? And then he vehemently denies it, but he's your sister. She's like a sister. This is like confirming that he sees Daisy as more of a friend or a sister than a romantic partner. I would say, okay, so we'll hop to the end of this. It's not fair. No, I can't. Daisy, okay? You're so annoying. Like a love test, but Daisy's done nothing. She deserves to be saved. Nope, you like her. he doesn't say anything. It's not. He likes her, but like I get the idea of him saving Daisy because she is that innocent, right? It is a fuck shit situation. Honestly, I would. I mean, it is a hard situation. Like I can't even say like, oh, I'd save Tess over Daisy, but like this isn't indicative of romantic intent because none of his reasons were because he was romantically interested in her. So it still doesn't make any sense. And then of course at the very end, he's like, "Oh, you gaslit me." So yeah, the Paisley stuff just like it just doesn't work. There's no angle that I can like see where it works. Like they're emotionally vulnerable with each other in a way that they aren't with their other friends, which makes sense because like they're really close friends. They have really good they have the best friendship dynamic in the comic. Out of any two characters in this comic, maybe outside of the senior squad, but like those two have genuine great friend dynamic chemistry. And I really like that a lot. But I cannot feel it romantically. I just don't see it. But it's too late to do this, right? Like, I don't know, it's like, it's Teshi's story to tell, so like, who are we to say like, oh, this is what you could have or should have done? But it feels like there is some depth here that we're missing. Or that could have been there, and it just isn't. It feels pretty surface level, and people say, oh, Rob, you overthink the comic. Okay, I mean, I do. Like, I've made videos on this. I've worked on videos for this thing pretty much almost every day for the last 4 years. So, and if not videos, doing live streams or writing stories. So, like, I'm pretty familiar with the comic. Now, there are alternate viewpoints that I would like to be made privy to, and that's something I do want to stream, like in the near future. But the reason why it's why I like hearing from the Patreon comments and from the official Discord, even if I would disagree with a lot of what they have to say, is because they have an alternate way of viewing things that I'm not normally made privy to. And maybe I can come to a better understanding about characters or motivations if I could have those conversations. And that would make the videos better. Because more than anything, I only want to be right if the information is... It's not about being right, it's about making the information correct. Because if the information that I'm giving is correct, then I am right by extension, if that makes any sense. Anyway. Donde Esta Lucy. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. Somebody added me? Oh. Alright, let's see. Tay, if you notice there's a problem on the graveyard page, particularly Chirpy's introduction, can you fix it? It feels a little annoying, especially to my OCD. I literally don't know what you're talking about, dude. It looks fine. It was a more specific issue. Let's go take a look. Particularly Chirpy's introduction? Okay, so this is the graveyard. Down here. I don't... That's from Chirpy when I don't know what they could mean. Maybe the thumbnail? I don't know. I literally don't know what you're talking about, dude. It looks fine. It would help if you're more specific about the issue. I guess I didn't notice that the problem persists. Yeah, I don't know. In reference to about the graveyard and Chirpy's intro, I checked to see if I could see the same thing as the others, and I think it might be the problem that they're referring to. Okay, no links, the links, Chirpy's story. I suspect it's not happening for everyone else. Wait. Okay, no links, so Imgur album WYRKM. The link to Chirpy's story is split into both columns. I suspect it's not happening for everyone else. But yeah, Firefox needs better multi-column support. Well, I'm on Firefox. I don't know, looks okay to me. Let's see. Whoa, it looks like Mike's about to shoot this kid in the face. That's crazy. Again, blam! How many fingers do they have? I keep seeing 5 or 4. How many is it? I'm pretty sure I've always drawn them with 5 fingers. I wonder if there's a few panels where they only have 4 fingers. Wouldn't that be crazy? Whoa, look at Daisy. See, this is the list of who she'd want to be with, like in order of most important to least. And of course Mike is always at the top. Then you have Augustus and then Abby. That's crazy. She'd take Augustus over Abby. I mean, honestly, who could blame her? And then Paulo right down here at the bottom. Daisy had her name before I knew about the book. At this point in time, Daisy wouldn't trust Augustus regardless of him saying he's out of any group or whatever. I mean, he could be very well lying. Skip such misdeeds. Oh, wait. So according to choices, Augustus actually ranks above Abby for Daisy. Would she drop Abby for Augustus if he had stopped being a creep and left Alejandra's group? I can't believe people actually like Daisy anymore. Oh my god! P.S. Is she a Great Gatsby reference? Daisy had her name. Oh, okay. So she's talking about Great Gatsby. This is actually a really good, like 3/4 body of Daisy. I like it. Wish the art looked a lot like this. If this is what the art looked like in the comic, I know it would take a lot longer to do, but like, looks good. She looks good. See, everyone messing around with overlays, been lurking around the BCB stream all weekend. The nose. Oh god. Hey, so my boyfriend and I live a few states from each other, and I haven't told my parents yet. I'm scared of how they'll think of me and him. Do you have any advice? Like, how long should I wait? Alright, before I even read her reply, it's time for Rob the Love Guru. So, you have a long distance relationship. Just tell your parents. Like, just be like, hey, there's this person I like. They're out of state. Like, you're afraid of what they'll think of you and him? In what sense? Are you worried about what they'll think of him as a person, or think of... I think what maybe you mean to say, you're scared of how they'll think of you two, like, the long-distance relationship situation. Unless, like he's like a weirdo, and obviously you know how they think about you. I don't think they think you're wrong for like having a boyfriend. They would just be like, you know, it's going to be tough for you to be with them because they're out of state. Like, that's just realistically how it's going to be. See, it took me until the very last minute to tell my mother and father about Veronica, my girlfriend of 2.5 years who lived in the USA. I still don't even know why, because it's not like I was ashamed of her. I just felt private about it and didn't want to deal with questions or teasing or anything if I didn't happen to. I wanted to do things on my own terms and avoid unsolicited advice, and there was no real reason to do it until the prospect of an overseas trip was in sight. That's also true there. You do have the possibility of your parents swaying you to break up with them because they're like, well, long distance relationships usually don't work out. And I don't have enough statistics to argue against it. I would say that they probably don't work out more than they do. So the fact that this 2.5 year relationship ended up working out like this is kind of like a 1 in a million shot. In your case, if you're only states away, then I suspect the secrecy is stopping you from seeing him. And that should be the most important thing of all to you, so you should tell them when a good opportunity arises. That is, of course, if shyness is the only reason you have it. Yeah, I'm not sure about the dynamics you have with your parents, whether they would be really accepting of the relationship or not. My mother is strict about me dating, but I told her about Soupy early on because I couldn't really keep secrets from her, especially when I was getting giant packages from Australia. I kind of had no choice. Meanwhile, Soupy was always using eBay at 13 to 14, so his parents didn't bat an eye over a package being delivered to him. My life was monitored more, but I was an easy daughter to monitor because I used to never leave the house because I lived on the internet. She was really cool about Soupy because she didn't think it was real since he lived so far away. She didn't want me to being a giant whore and going out and dating people physically, so Soupy was a safe boyfriend to her. That's funny. This is literally what... Hold up. Let's bring it up. She is taking... And I always say, people say, oh, Lucy's a self-insert. And I always say, well, artists always put a little bit of themselves in their stories. And this is literally... I think it's in this chapter. It loads. See. Well, to the other side. Hey, Sandy. Also, my brother, she would have killed us. She thinks you're great. She thinks you're great. You're not like here in person, so you're not a distraction. See, there you go. Yeah, it's real. So there you go. He didn't distract me from my schoolwork. It's all coming together, bros. When we met IRL, she made sure to make me feel pretty awful about being intimate with him. Nothing until marriage, don't be a tramp, etc., etc. This also I can relate to. But I digress, you should be looking out for your safety most of all, and your partner should understand that, or work out a way where you can be together without family ruining it. Or maybe your parents will surprise you in a positive way if you're worried about them not being very accepting. But maybe have a plan B. Maybe have a plan B if plan A, accepting parents, doesn't work out. I hope it does. Wildcat with a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to tell your parents at some point. At most, they'll just be like, well, it might not work out because you guys live so far apart. There is a physicality to being in a relationship, and that's not everything, for sure. If everything in your relationship is about the physicality, it's not gonna last. You can get burnt out from sex. Like, crazy as it is to say, you can get burnt out from, like, being physical with another person. So it's important to set up boundaries and take time. See, I don't know what this is. I didn't know that there were choices posters for anyone other than Lucy and Paulo. Where can I find the others? At the conventions while they last. We had too many posters for me to comfortably manage the inventory of, so I cut the store down to the ones that seemed the most popular. Choices. I can't believe Jessica is actually a choice for Lucy. Is it because Jessica likes Lucy? Something, and also it is confirmed that Lucy is straight, so this just doesn't even make sense. Also, Augustus being a choice. I like how Daisy is also not even a choice for Paulo on his own poster. I can only assume Teshi felt obliged to put a gay ship on each poster just because, you know the reason. But yeah, that's crazy. On his own choices poster, Daisy is not even on there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, they have all the buttons. These are the ones that are sold out. No Sue buttons. Why is Sue gotta be angry? Why is her butt out like this? Oh, her butt's out too, I guess. He looks like a baby. Sandy, we gotta get back on track. I'm getting distracted. Maybe we'll do a stream where I just go through all the stuff on the store and talk about it. So in one of the recent anime gifts, there was an orange hair. Okay, I don't care. How many pages are there in total so far? 1,590 pages. How many pages are there now? 2,500 pages. So there's almost 1,000 more pages than from when this was uploaded. Which makes sense because it's almost been a decade. See, how many different languages do you speak? I imagine you meet a lot of different fans from all around the world. I only speak English. See, I only know English and Spanish, but I'm not confident enough in my Spanish to say that I know it on a native speaking level anymore. I can understand what people are saying for the most part, provided linguistically they speak in a more formal way, and like not slinging it up or speaking like a machine gun. And I can read it for the most part as well, but I'm so damn scared of speaking it now due to fear of being made fun of that I plain suck at Spanish speaking now. It breaks my heart to think I might have totally lost my accent, and I'm really sensitive about it. I wish I could take classes as a way to force myself to get involved with the language again so I don't feel so intimidated. Just do Duolingo. I don't even know if Duolingo was a thing until 2016, but you could do it. Hey Vrill and Oliver, if you both had to choose from 1 week together but unable to speak to each other and 1 week apart but with free texts and calls, what would you pick? Wait. Oh, so they're saying if you could would you rather spend a week together but you can't talk at all, or 1 week apart but you can text and call as much as you want? we've done the relationship stuff before. We can do it again. What's the point of being physically around each other if we can't interact? Gotta yammer to my soupy. Yeah. See, between Rachel and Lucy, who has a bigger butt in measurement? For researching purposes, I swear, Rachel. That I can't even. I can't. It's a piece of fan art. I won't bring it up on stream, but goddamn is all I have to say. Uh, Rachel has the bigger butt. Of course, Rachel does. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, chat. Hold on. Give me a second, chat. I'm gonna pull up the image. You know which image it's gonna be. You guys already know. Yeah, it's this one. Crazy. Absolutely mental. Anyway. It's a shame that Abby is distasteful to Sue, because I've always felt they were actually very similar were actually very similar characters. They're both intelligent, articulate. They're both into RPGs and chess. They're both artistic. Where did you get chess from? They're both artistic and they're both passionate. It seems like a political rivalry there, whereas they actually get on great. It's funny because Abby is way more tolerant of Sue than Sue is tolerant of Abby. Abby might find her annoying at times to disagree with her, but he'd be pretty amicable with Sue to try to share their common interests together. It's Sue who can't let go of things, the stubborn girl. See, that's because Sue is based. She knows that this guy is crazy, and that he's too much of a white knight, and that he's crazy. Sue is smart. She's not letting she's too smart. Plus she already has eyes for Paulo, so you know. Sorry, Abby, you're not going to be able to compete with that, especially because you canonically have the smallest penis. And I believe Paulo canonically has the second largest. Just as at peace, my favorite character. Why? I can't believe I bought a frame for this. No, this is the tragedy. This is when Sue fakes her death. Having days hugging happy. Sue at peace for once. She deserves it. She's a trooper. This is fucking hilarious, though. This is actually funny. I just want to let you know that you really inspire me. I struggle a lot with BPD, anxiety, and depression, but BCB and your diary comics have really helped me keep going. I want to make a comic one day, and reading BCB really helps me to continue towards that goal. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. I wish you the best of luck in your comic endeavors. With the new page from today, it makes me feel old, like I'm looking at a new generation of BCB. I feel like it was so long ago that reading BCB was reading the story of Apollo, Lucy, Mike, and Daisy. I've seen characters come and go, and it feels like I'm an old man. But it's only been like 6 or 7 years since we thought Mike would hook up with Lucy. Some people still hold that torch, those poor souls. Musey dead confirmed. This is September 3rd, 2016. Are they talking about September? So they're talking about this page. This page would have been the most recent page. Let's see. No, his name can't be Dylan. My name's Dylan. Don't do this to me. Dylan's such a nice name. What are they? Are they talking about? Hold up. Oh, they're talking about Clean Slate. This was a really good chapter. Jasmine's wonderful. Let's see. This was great. Hey, Dylan. That was a good time. I don't mean to be like mean or upset or whatever, but spending the cash to go hang around ASIN for a day was alright and kind of interesting. But I'd much rather give you guys money to see you guys rather than give it to ASIN to just hang out. Okay, I don't know. Come to my convention question. Sometimes I get the feeling that you're the type who loves to be dominated. Is that the case? Listen, there's nothing wrong with being a switch. That's all I'm saying. It is not about top or bottom. It is about the motion of the ocean, brothers and sisters. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, is Mike half Japanese or something? Model's girlfriend's page 9 second panel. Mike looks very animu. Now I have to go back to. I should have just clicked next chapter on the thing. Oh yeah, I can kind of see. I think it's just a weird perspective. I think it's because he doesn't have like the line, the outline going around his eyes. Sorry. Mike can't be Japanese. He's not running around with toast in his mouth and having accidental panty shots. What do you? Don't give people ideas. They will AI generate it. There's still AI generating BCB stuff, and I won't. Not that I would use any of it in any sort of official capacity, but like the AI thing is, it's pretty much on model almost at this point. Like I think you could feasibly trick someone into believing that some of those images Teshi drew. Not that I would do that. Not that I can even show them on stream. Who is your favorite character to draw? While looking at the last page, I thought Abby looked really fun with his giant ears and those big eyes. But Paulo and all his spikes look like it'd be fun too. Are there any that get frustrating when you have to draw them from an odd angle, or have you been doing this long enough that those kind of things don't give you trouble anymore? I have to admit, I have got to draw them in 3D space and practice with that more. I kind of have that mostly figured out in my head, but not to the point I can say I'm 100% confident with it. I'm pretty sure Paulo has got some major anime hair going on. Paulo is a pain in the ass to draw for that reason. Abby bounces between being really fun and a huge pain. Rachel is a lot of fun. Jessica looks wonky like 70% of the time when I sketch her, as well as Lucy, so meant to be. Daisy is getting easier and easier. I guess they might be talking about... Yeah. No. I could easily see Mike going for a con cross-dressing if his friends weren't there, or maybe I'm just being weird. I don't know. I have a soft spot for effeminate guys in comics and animation that aren't played down for jokes. Damn. There is a fan fiction. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. There is a fan fiction. Hold up. That is on Archive of Our Own. It's one of the first fics on the website. Closet Cat. No. Do you like me? Trying to impress you. My god. Loose ends. Yeah, this is it. Macy Dreamer used to be all... Where's Macy Dreamer at? The fanfiction scene just kind of died recently. It was like popping off and now it's dead. My first fic. Basically this is a fanfic about, it's Mike x Stacy, but Mike goes to the con in a dress. Let's see. Stacy, it's bad that I kind of like how the dress feels on me. Stacy just stared at him for a moment and began to grin. Oh, Mike, I think we've unlocked something inside of you. Haha! I already left kudos here. That's right. Yeah, that's, there you go. Trans femme Mike, am I right, everybody else? I don't even know if that's the correct terminology. Mike is timid, but he wouldn't have completely objected to dressing up as the flower mage for the con. It was a mixture of not enough time to make the costume and generally being a bit anxious about it all, especially since that con was his first time. His friends are pretty open-minded about it and wouldn't be the ones discouraging him, except pretty obviously Paulo. Mike was comfortable in himself to want to go around as a girl in the first place in the game. Yeah, but that's... I don't know if that's an equivalent. Playing as a girl in a video game doesn't necessarily mean you to be comfortable to dress up as that in real life, especially if you don't have any other choice but to play as a girl to begin with. I think for some reason, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like the Flower Mage is locked behind being a female character only, and So it's like, okay, just because I really like to play Metroid, or because I really like to play Tomb Raider, doesn't mean I necessarily want to dress up as those characters. Especially fucking what's her Lara Croft, who wears booty shorts and like a super like a cut t-shirt. Uh, but sure, yeah. I mean, I think there is an image of Mike wearing the thing at the con, but I don't know where it's at. Oh shit! Look at that. Less than 1,000 faces. Holy shit, a lot of errors. Now I can make it mid poly 2,000 faces. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I think this is like somebody commissioned a Daisy model. They're using Blendor. I'm actually surprised that somebody hasn't like gone in and made a bunch of 3D BCB models. See, you don't always have to be frustrated or down about stuff, really. Just remember, business in the front, party in the top. Vegas, baby. Q kick dubstep. Party down with the cat down. Party down with the cat clown? By the way, nobody's going to Las Vegas anymore. See, well, this sucks. Wow. Like how he has the tail shirt on. Rip Lucille. Let's see. I'm not expecting Paulo to end up with a dude just because he's bi, but I would be fully satisfied if he did butt stuff just once with a guy, even if it's like a page. Just make the cats have sex. This is quite literally the 12th creepiest message I've ever sent. So, I mean, the cats do have sex in this comic quite a lot, actually. But also, this is, he had me in the first half. Apollo should have dated James for like a date. For like one date, at least. That would have been nice. What should be my next BCI be about? Mike going gay for Paulo. What would he be called? Mike goes gay. I don't think this ever ended up happening. So cat spines and dog knots, canon or not, whatever you want them to be, baby. Yo, that's crazy. This is not. This is Teshi. This is also like Teshi being like, oh, well, the human versions of the BCB characters aren't canon. That's crazy though. It's also crazy that like, and I'm not saying she's wrong for interacting with this kind of content or these questions, because it is funny. But you know, it's definitely not something she would do today, I'll tell you that. The BCB community ain't what it used to be, kids. Slam Swiss on table, more queer characters. You ain't the boss of me. Oh my god. Can't believe Teshi hates gay people. Also, don't you worry, because all the characters in like the next 10 years are going to become, not even a decade from now, are going to be all bisexual, so hope you're excited. I've got to tell you that I adore the current story arc. December's multiple week-long emotional trauma is finally getting a real heavy follow-up in this chapter, and I adore it. I've been assaulted in a public restroom before when I was younger, so that part was kind of painful to read, but it makes everything stronger and more memorable. Truly exceptional. Thank you both so much for daring to put the rough and ugly into your comic about young and cartoon cats just trying to live. Man, that really sucks. I'm sorry that should happen to you. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's really awful. I hope you're okay and that you got the support you deserved afterwards. Thank you so much for the kind words. Yeah, that sucks. See, where is Lucy? Oh my god, I remember when these videos first came out. Literally the funniest thing on the internet, and still is, actually. Kill Bill. Yeah, volume 1. Are you excited for Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun? More shinies. See, I'm just wondering, is there any particular reason for the 2+ years of Lucy's disappearance? I'm not asking where she is, but rather, was it in your plan for her to be gone from the comics so long, or did it just play out that way? I actually somewhat like this, though, as it gives you a way to relate to the characters and that we all wonder where she's gone and if she'll come back anytime soon. Genius Veronica. I think she said that she did it because it felt like the comic was too Lucy focused and she wanted to focus on other characters. Is it normal for the cats in BCB to say nya and laugh like nya ha ha, or is it strange to other cats? Nobody would bat an eye at it. Though it's hilarious the idea of a character going "ya ha ha" and Paulo going "fucking furry." Yeah, it's hilarious, but you also put it in the comic. Well, now junior year has started, huh? I can't wait for the hell you guys are gonna bring. I just get so pumped because you guys' writing. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much. When I first started reading the comic, I thought Paulo and Daisy were dating. Well, Soupy's dream. I don't know why he wants them to date now. Like, what is he? I guess it's what I see in Paulo and Sue, but like also like, what do you mean? Hey, I've been following your comic for quite some time now, and I was wondering where the heck is Lucy? Is she still alive? Is she ever coming back? Hey Vero, I want to thank you for advice on drawing tail tips, how you swoosh them. I left one of my characters with a broken tail look for your charm. Broken tail look for your charm, I guess? But thank you, blessings with lots of Lucy. Lucy isn't dead, right? Oh my god! You know what's hilarious? This is true. This is you know, I'm gonna save this one actually. Can I save this? Oh god. I'm gonna send this to Sunflower. Thank you, Teshi, for this amazing gif. Oh! 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 I can't believe Molly is a Trumper. Boy, this aged poorly, didn't it? I mean, not that it already wasn't aging poorly when it came out, but like even now, like Trump, literally. So my girlfriend and I were gonna go to DC on Monday, and we ended up not going. And in hindsight, I'm glad we didn't go because that's the fucking day Trump rolled out the National Guard into DC to start rounding up all the criminals and the homeless people to kick them out of DC. So, yeah, dodged a bullet there. Stupid fucking hair, fucking bitch. No way Trump really loves. My lawyer advised me not to continue. Yeah. I might be a little slow to realize this, but is the BCB logo supposed to be Lucy's bow and Mike's scarf intertwined? Yes. I wonder what Teshi would do if Trump was a Paisy shipper. What if he was like, Paisy's #1? That's a terrible Trump impression. It's the best ship ever. Paisy's #1. It's the best ship ever. It's better than the rest of them. Okay, none of them come even close. I think Suitcase might shoot himself. How are you not famous? For the followers and people's problems you solve with this comic, you should have one of them fancy Peace Prize thingies and such in physics. Thingies and such in physics or psychology and whatnot. I'm sure David agrees. The stream nubbers told me so. Also, Paulo is your flower boy, and Lucy gets you the Price is Right and such. Yep, that's about good. Walk the red carpet, milady. Alan's fedora's tip for you. Your skeletons need orders, though. K, thanks. K, bye. I love you. Oh my god. That Abby's little kits. What is this? Oh, I need to be careful because they might have sus. Wow, this is crazy. How are they not famous? Because they don't advertise the furries. That sounds like those Fedora Discord mods. I think this is supposed to be like a joke post. Oh, it's a butt. I don't know your views on mobile games, but you should definitely try Neko Simulator, Quiet Cast. Okay. See, how do you do a webcomic? I've drawn and inked a page and it took like 3 hours. Where do you kooky artists find the time, especially since yours looks so good? Take 7+ hours, get on my level, or don't. See, so my friend managed to get me in on the absolutely life-engulfing hype train that is waiting for BCB to update recently. Already read through the whole comic up to date twice, in fact, which brings me to this. How hard would it be to liquefy BCB and inject it into my bloodstream? Because I'm such a sucker for these storylines and everything. Also, if I had the money, I'd pay y'all $1,600 a month myself. Boy, would I love if you had the money as well. But no, seriously, I'm so glad you have. Yeah, I want to inject some BCB into my veins and crush it up into a dust and snort it and drink it and suppository it. See, Teshi, as someone who else with borderline personality disorder, unofficially diagnosed since I'm 16, I just want to say how proud I am of you. You've managed to accomplish so much, and you survive a debilitating disorder. You honestly inspire me so much, and your diary comic as well as BCB both helped me a ton. Thank you. I'm so glad I found your this comic. Also, I met you at a con once, but I was too nervous to say anything, so I guess I'm finally saying it now. You're a warrior, never forget. Oh man, thank you. Hopefully I can see you at a con sometime. Uh, I'm not saying, well, people can have like disorders, like diagnosed with disorders, but like to what degree, to the extreme, like simply there are some disorders that are simply debilitating. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna shut up. Let's see. Why did you get rid of Lucy? I mean, did you start out with her? I mean, you did start out with her. Good gif. Hello, I have to say BCB is one of my favorite parts of the day. I love the character story and art so much. It's a big inspiration for me, and because of it, I've thought about making my own comic. Most likely not online though, so thank you. Whoa. I don't have time or patience for games. Maybe you'll meet someone like that. Wow, this is really good. This is what's gonna happen in Line in the Sand, by the way. See. Oh my gosh, I love the little Mike kitty that follows your cursor around the Tumblr page if you click on him. He's so cute. There's no Mike anywhere. I don't know where the mic is. See, I think everyone's taking Jessica's girlfriend nicely. Anon is talking about the table situation. David's open-minded, but like Abby isn't, unless he's just that sexist. Why would Abby care? He's sexist in the sense that he sees women as weak and in need of protection in a white knight best interest kind of way. I don't see how that could translate to him not being happy without gals just being pals. I honestly, and this is the reason why Sue would not be with Abby. Because Sue is extremely headstrong and she believes that she can take care of herself and do whatever she needs to by herself, which is true. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like to have a guy that constantly would try to coddle her or protect her from like going out and doing what she wants to do, that would drive her up a wall. In the kissy lovey-dovey kind of way that involves cuddling, like this right here. Let me show you guys something. And this is beyond Sue, by the way. This is just in general. This right here. Having Abby mauled about them hanging out like this is... This is going to turn every girl away to see a guy act like this. This is not attractive. Look at her. She's annoyed. She's like, oh my god, this fucking guy again. People like, oh, Abby and Sue. No, they absolutely not. And there's no character arc to be had here, by the way, because they aren't inverses of each other. Let's see. Hey guys, sorry to bother you, but will you be touching on what happened to Lucy later, or is it just going to stay a mystery? Also, will she be back if you can tell me without spoilers? I love that, thank you. What is this? Oh, he just knocked his can over. Hey, wait, no, I'm going to save this one too. This is actually a really good one. I'm going to send it in this Discord chat. Alright. Oh, shit. Okay. See, hey guys, just wondering, are you still planning to update chapters 90 draft pages? Chapter 90's draft pages. Monday, most definitely. Likely when I have to actually publish the book. So she must have felt so tough posting Renegus. Where Lucy... I mean, it's fair, right? She doesn't want to spoil it. Besides, people know what they're getting into when they ask her where Lucy is. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to get through this page. Oh, that's a nice Lucy. This is extremely well drawn. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to cautiously scroll through this. I'd want to see. Hold up, chat. I gotta make sure that I'm not gonna accidentally show anything bad on stream. Let's see. All right, no. Okay, first let's talk about today's page. No, stop that. So the thing I want to specifically bring up is this person says the console is back out. No controllers plugged in though, so probably still not actively playing. Might just be more for Paulo. Where? Where is the game console? Did Teshi update this page? Like, was the console out on this page in like on the Patreon version? Because I have literally no idea where it could be. I hope they're not talking about the television, because this is not a game console. This is a TV. This is a CRT. I don't really know what to say. I am actively working on, and what I was doing this morning was working on this chapter, the chapter review for participation trophy. I'm currently going through the section dissecting whether or not this is actually a plot hole, which I have come to the conclusion that it kind of is a plot hole, and at the very least she misspoke. I would not be surprised if this gets rewritten to be a little bit less confusing. Because you can't just ignore this. And I'm trying to stretch out stream for the next couple minutes. Let's look at the Kanemaru. People thought this was really great. Also, look at all these cats right here. It's a lot of cats. I thought this was an Alejandro kitten at first because of the hat, but no, it's Sue and Amaya. Cool. Let's see. Who is this supposed to be? Lucy and Sue? Yeah. Good to see new artists. As always, good to see new artists in chat. The music meme. Anyway, when we come back, we'll probably be doing more puzzles. And you guys love puzzles. I love doing the puzzles with you guys. You guys have a great day. I'm probably going to go back and continue editing this video. And hopefully get that out for you guys soon. The new chapter is going to be pretty long, so I have a lot of time to get it finished. Not that I'm going to drag my feet on it, but yeah.